Hi guys, I'm filming this for the third time now. I've had a bit of technical difficulties, but I'm gonna show you best routes, best hiding spots, and best dukes on Canyon. I'm gonna do this for every map, including city, because people like to play on city. So I'm gonna start from right here, and I'll just move on. But by the way, here's some terminology. I'm gonna call these little strips of rock. I'm gonna call these strands, because that's what I call them in game. And yeah, okay. So on strand 1, it's by far one of the shorter strands. This is right here. This right here is pretty good for getting up. Not much to do here. Not many routes or jukes or anything. It's okay though. So strand 2, same thing. It actually has less. But strand 3, biggest strand. I am pretty sure because this extends pretty far. So this right here is good if you have longer arms. You can wall climb right there. I'll show you a route for this later. Actually, not. I can show you right now. I don't know if you like it. I'll show you that later when we get to the other strand. So this is a giant strand because it extends all the way around right here. I'm gonna explain both of these areas. So right here, this tiny thing, I call it the boomerang because that's just what I call it. I don't really have an explanation for some of these names. I'm not quite sure what other people call it, but I call it boomerang because you could bring yourself back to wherever you were. So right here, you can launch from both sides, even going up like that. And it's just a great spot for jukes and all that. There's not like anything specific too. You could do whatever you want right here, and it would work just fine because there's so many. Yeah, like that. There's some certain spots where it'll just launch you. I didn't even move my arms right there. But as you can see, certain spots will just completely launch you, which I kind of find fun because sometimes it'll come out of nowhere and it'll surprise both you and the taggers. Yeah. So here is my second favorite spot on the map. I call this Obsidian Loops. I developed it myself. I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. So, what Obsidian Loops is, I call this is obsidian from what it looks like. So I use this little area, and I use my terminology. This is the obsidian strand, obsidian loop, whatever you want to call it. This thing it's crazy. It's really underrated. You could loop across. You could do a bounce back. So you could just literally, you could bounce wherever. You could even bounce in the canyon like I almost just did. For some reason I'm playing really well. You could just bounce back out like that, so you could fall really freely and not have to worry about being stuck down in the canyon. It's really good. And if you have any size of arm, this is a viable loop, which usually isn't possible. Some loops you require to have longer arms, some require you to have really short arms. I have actually pretty nice arms. They're decently long. I'm pretty short though, so certain trade-offs. But this is just a great loop for everybody. If you're a newer player, it's really easy to learn. But there's always things that advanced players will have to learn as well. Yeah, and to get out of here, there's so many opportunities. If you have a longer arm, you could go from there to there. Any other size, like a medium arm, you could go here to there. But my favorite, every arm size can do this. You could just, like that. It looks really nice, and it's smooth, because you keep a lot of momentum, and you could kind of just keep going. But I like that version. Now I'm going to show you the route I was discussing earlier. This route is crazy because you kind of just test the guy following you. So let's say there's a monkey following me from right there, I'll come around here, they'll think I'm going this way. I completely momentum shift. I did that kind of slow right there, but speed that up. It's great because they might think you're going forward. Might lose you. Now, I was talking about how that's my second favorite, and I talked all about how good it was. This is by far my favorite loop in the game. Well, not in the game, but on this map. There are so many opportunities for this. It's actually wild. So, I didn't discuss this much, but there's these things that I call crevices. There's these little holes in the canyons. There's two of them. One right down there, it's going to see. Other one up here. There's also one pretty deep in the map. I don't want to go to it, though, because it's on the other side. So what I like to do is completely enrage the tagger. I'll go down here, I'll juke around if they don't follow me. Because sometimes they'll think, they're going up there. Oh yeah, there's the second crevice, by the way. So, they're like, oh, well, this guy's smart. And then you can kind of juke them around. Eventually, they'll just launch themselves out the back or the front. And then you could just go to this edge right here and launch out. Now, the reason I said that edge specifically, it's slightly slanted at that side. So you get better launches, and it's just overall better. And then, so, here is why this is my favorite route. You could completely troll the guys. So you could make them think you're jumping right there and just go right there. So I could purposely go over here and then just miss the jump and then go back up there. Now, sometimes I'll come down here after I purposely miss jump. And, I could kind of juke around here, climb walls and just have fun. And to get out of here, it's pretty easy. I might miss it, though. I haven't played much today. You can kind of wall run, if you please. One-hand wall run, though, because, yeah, here's another crevice right here. This one isn't as good because how access points are working here. But it definitely is a crevice, so, I mean, not much to say there. Right here is decent for, just hopping over here, and then getting right here. And, then you're out of here and you land in this strand area, which you could loop into there. Pretty clean. I'm gonna go back to over here so I can show you this route. Because I will admit, I kind of messed up when I was trying to show the route. So you just want to purposefully misjump and then land down there, then do the same thing I already showed. Here's another route. Since this is going through the entire canyon, you could actually land over here, and if you're following still, you could go around here, bit a bit. You could use this squeeze right here. I don't like using it, though, because, as you guys know, momentum launches are kind of weird, and sometimes they just happen. So sometimes I'll just launch out that side, and we'll get launched into the canyon, and I don't like doing that. So from right here, I could just lightly tap, and then land in there, but I'm absolute garbage. But I guess now I could show you some routes from actually down here. So right here is obsidian. I haven't done this in a while, but you could route up to that tiny block. And then you could bounce, and then you're up here. Boom, 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 on top, right? That's the obsidian route from inside obsidian. And yeah, I just think that's a cool route. And, I didn't discuss this, but if you want, from Boomerang, you could easily just launch up here. And if you're lucky, if you have a good enough of a launch, you could even land over there. That will trip people up sometimes. I've actually, I want to tell a story about, okay, completely ignore my jump, about the loop that I'm calling my favorite. So, one time I was doing that loop with this guy, and this guy got so tripped up, he literally fell in real life. I felt really bad, so I let him tag me, but it just shows some people get really immersed. I mean, I'm not very immersed right now. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh my god. It's so hard to find this wall. You could also do that, I guess. I actually didn't know that was a possible route. Yeah, you could kind of just one hand bounce off that and then... Yeah, that actually... Yeah, that might be... Here, I just discovered a route for you guys while recording. But yeah, that guy got so tripped up. Me doing it, I sometimes will even get tripped up. Actually, not. I'm tired of trying to do obsidian because I'm talking and throwing me off. I'll show you guys this over here. So over here is the main entrance exit of the entire strand 1, or just all the strands is where they all connect to. It's this and then this small crevice. I don't like this crevice. Doesn't have much opportunities coming with it. Obviously. But I like this because you could wall bounce just like that. On my first recording, I took a few attempts to do that, and I hit my controller on the wall, and I had to reset the recording because I obviously don't want people to hear me worrying about my controller being broke. Because that's just not something you want to hear when you're watching a girl tag video. Yeah, people get super tripped up on this route. I'm finally back here. So, now I'm going to discuss getting onto this strand. Originally, I showed you guys I just jumped from here because it's easier to do that loop. But if you're new to the game, here's what I recommend. Come right here, go up, or the easiest, but a bit risky because of that, by far the easiest is just coming right here. There's not much up here, but by far, best hiding spot in the game on this map would be right here next to these trees. You could hide behind this, you could even pull yourself to the top of it and kind of just stay there. If you could, yeah, but where I would hide usually, this is one of my multiple games, by the way. I hide right here, and in my settings, you guys can, if I go to my settings, experimental features, you just go down to raise view, you click that, duck down, put your controllers down, and then reset it again, and it'll put you more into the ground. And that is about it. That's all my routes for canyon or desert, whatever you guys want to call it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have questions, comment them down below. And yeah, see y'all.